All right, greetings. This is Dr. Ankh Interior coming at you again from OH10, and we're gonna drop it. You know, we're gonna have some content for you people today that need some content. That's what we're gonna do. So I got my son here, Antoine, and he's gonna ask me some questions, some relevant questions dealing with health. So I don't know what Antoine gonna ask me. So whatever he asks me, I'm prepared to answer. So let's go with it.
Dr. Ankh, how would you give insight on the topic of diet, alkaline versus acidic? Could you give us some insight about that? What foods would you consider would be acidic, or anything that would be alkaline?
All right. When we talk about alkaline versus acidity, you're talking about a topic that's very near and dear to me because the godfather, as far as I'm concerned, of holistic health, of natural health, of healing, is Dr. Sebi. All right, and Dr. Sebi's premise was about the fact that alkalinity increases the oxygenation to your cells and therefore heals all diseases. The acid condition that is produced by us eating certain foods causes inflammation. And so anybody that knows anything about Dr. Sebi knows that he talked about inflammation being the main cause of disease, as well as talked about mucus being the main cause of disease, because they're both interrelated. You know, mucus is produced. Our body already has a certain amount of mucus in it, all right. But he wasn't talking about the natural mucus that our body produces. He was talking about the excess mucus that our body produces, and that comes from eating things that are acidic, because acidity causes an excess production of mucus and therefore inflammation. So those things are all interrelated, and that's why he talked about one disease. So that's the basic premise that I go by when I'm trying to work with people and help them to naturally use their own body's immune system to help them fight off whatever what they call disease that comes that they come into contact with. So when you talk about acid and alkaline, something that's alkaline could be as simple as these dandelions that's growing abundantly back here in this yard back here. And a lot of people say dandelions; those are just weeds. You can eat dandelions. You know, dandelions they work very well with detoxing your liver. They are natural detox for your liver. So something that the average person just considers to be weeds because they don't know. They grow abundantly, they grow naturally. They're not a cultivated plant. Those plants are the plants that would be alkaline. They are produced by nature. They grow in the forest, or they grow wild. Okay, so something that would be acidic, you know, would be something like
Would alcohol be considered acidic? Drinking a beer or some MD 2020 or something like that?
yeah, that yeah, alcohol would definitely be considered acidic. Even though, you know, you can some people that are vegetarian, for example, or vegan, would say, well, beer comes from plants too. So wouldn't that be something that would be good for me to ingest? You know, not necessarily, because the plant that, you know, these beers come from, most of the beers that are produced domestically as well as internationally now come from wheat, and wheat is not a natural growing grain. You can't just go out in your backyard and say, yeah, I'm gonna just go out here and pick this wheat stalk and eat that. I mean, you can eat it, but it doesn't grow wild. It's a cultivated plant. It's a hybrid plant. So that's what most of the beers, the commercial beers, are made out of. So no, that would be acidic, as well as you know, a lot of the commercial wines, you know, that are made today. So, you know, we're talking about plants that grow naturally. That's the thing that Dr. Sebi was high on, and that's why today, in what I do in trying to help people to heal themselves, because we're talking about healing, all right, as opposed to what people would say cure. I don't use the word cure because the word cure is a patented word, all right, and as we get deeper into this subject matter, we'll go into that a little deeper, but we don't want to use the word cure. I prefer to use the word heal, because just like if you cut yourself, all right, on your arm, or you fall down and scrape your knee and cut yourself, your body has a natural ability to heal itself. It's going to form a scab, and eventually that cut is going to heal itself. Now you might want to disinfect it or whatnot, so that you don't, you know, get an infection in there. But other than that, it's going to heal on its own. Even in a lot of cases, even if you didn't put a disinfectant on it, it's still going to heal on its own, because what's going to accelerate the healing process? Oxygen. Because that body part, like if I cut myself on my arm right now, my skin, this top level of my skin, which they call the dermis, that's gonna be exposed to oxygen, because you out in the oxygen. Now, if you cover it up, it's gonna be a little bit harder for the oxygen to get to it. But just like this, it's gonna heal on its own, because it's exposed to high levels of oxygen. So, you know, because a person that's laying, for example, in a hospital bed, and they lay on their back, right? So they have to turn people, and they turn them periodically. Why? So that they don't get bed sores. Where do the bed sores come from? All right? Because if you look inside of a bed sore has a parasite in it. Where does the parasite come from? Person just laying in the bed. But those parasites and those bed sores come from you internally. But they come from the internal lack of oxygen, because you already have a certain amount of germs and bacteria already in your body.
That's a good point. What's a good way for somebody to detox themselves? Would a lemon be considered a good way to detox if somebody went and bought some lemons and put it in their water? Lemon
is cool, but I prefer limes, like a key lime, because a key lime is alkaline.
Okay.
All right. And so if you go to your stores, I don't want to necessarily pump up any particular grocery store, but you go to these places like Whole Foods, or any store that's got an abundance of vegetables and fruits, you want to get key lime. Key lime is a better it's a better source to put in some water, as opposed to putting a lemon in there, you know, because the key lime is more natural. It's definitely something that you want to try to look into, because what I try to tell people is always do your research. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of information on YouTube now. There's a lot of people. Everybody on YouTube has got something to say, whether it's good or bad. Everybody's a scholar on YouTube, but it's incumbent upon people to do their own research, because anything that you're going into, and when you're going into this health field, or something that's going to be beneficial for yourself or for your children, you want to know what you're talking about. Because, you know, I was watching a video the other day, and a brother who was talking about healing itself, all right, or healing, trying to prevent certain viruses, for example, and one of the things that he talked about utilizing to facilitate the healing was garlic. And I know a lot of people are high on garlic, and at my inception of healing, I used garlic myself until I got more information. And garlic will probably alleviate a lot of health problems. But the problem with garlic is that garlic, because it's not a natural plant, garlic will eat the disease condition up, but it also will eat your mucous membrane, which is going to cause more of a problem. It's going to alleviate one problem, but it's going to create another problem, because garlic is so strong that garlic, that's why you can't really take garlic. You can't take, for example, you can't take a garlic supplement, or even take a natural bulb of, a bulb of garlic, because garlic is not a natural plant in the first place. But you can't take a bulb of garlic and eat it on an empty stomach unless you're going to have some stomach problems. You have to eat garlic with food in order for it not to be as acidic as it is, because garlic will eat through your mucous membrane. And that's the thing that Dr. Sebi always talked about, is the fact that you don't want to. He said people will use garlic, but he never recommended garlic, because garlic is too strong. It'll eat through the mucous membrane. So I just want to give you a little kickstart. And we as we get deeper into these videos and we talk more about this health thing, and that was a good question you asked, Antoine, because we're going to get deeper into this subject matter. And I know, and I'm going to say this again, I know a lot of people like garlic, and I'm not, hey, if you want to take it, go ahead and take it. I used to take it myself early on in my inception in the health, but as I got older and got more information, I saw that even though garlic has some benefit to it, it had more detriment to it, or as much detriment as it had benefit. So I don't utilize garlic. So there are very good things you can use, burdock and lily of the valley and other herbs. We'll talk about that later. Check it out.